Hello guys and welcome back to part 2 of Nothing But Football. Speaking of what we were talking about in the break, it seems as though Uncle Lucas was trying...
Hey Joe, we need to stop calling other people uncle. There's only one uncle here and it's Uncle Curtis.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm tired of this. I needed to address this. I was sad enough at part 1 because I had a tough work day. But now I'm back. Screw you guys.
No,
There's only one uncle here and it's Uncle Curtis.
It keeps slipping out. The uncle keeps slipping out. I don't know. But yes.
That's what she said.
I apologize. I apologize for using such terms, your pronouns and stuff. Not pronouns. What is that one? Is it a preposition? No, it's not a preposition.
Joe,
what is it called? Title.
It's a title. I don't know.
It's a title.
Probably. It's a descriptive word to me, dog. But I
don't know, dog.
What is Mr.
This language came on a boat, dog.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering what...
Those guys are going to make us pull out Stompy now, dog. Subject, predicate, what?
Jesus. Hey, you're an old man, dog.
Yes, dog.
Nah, I just remembered that. I was like, oh, snap.
Bantu education.
Yes. But yes, guys, if you're joining us in part 2, thank you for joining us. There's also another part that's lingering on the internet somewhere here. So please do click on it. I'm sure if you click onto our page, you can find it and indulge in some lovely blues. We spoke about some random news, I guess random news floating in the footballing world. So I thought let's actually deal with some highlights in terms of games. I'm going to actually discuss. Just hold on. I'm going to go back to game week 5. I think game week 5 is
on the FPL.
Hey, no. I'm going to talk about game week 5.
Yeah.
As a starting point, because at game week 6, things take a turn for the worst for some of us, I guess, on the side of the room. Uncle Curtis, let me take you back to game week 5. Arsenal unbeaten, 5 games in a row.
You know what's the thing?
No. It was what?
5 games in a row.
Yeah, the game week 5 was the 5th one now.
Yes, was the 5th one. Okay, I'm gonna put everything into
context.
What is that,
Aston Villa, yeah?
I'm gonna put everything into context now.
Aston Villa, it was 2-1. I think everyone was talking smack about how those were easy games and how Arsenal wasn't serious, yada. So, yes.
So, I'm going to put everything into context now. When we're looking at those 5 weeks, I don't know why everybody thought United was our first tough test. Granted, it's the first big club that we've played, but first tough test was a bit harsh. Even though we lost that game as well, it's okay. We lost it, but United haven't beaten us in 8. Right? At the same time, we're looking at that point. We were one of the top 6 teams to get 4 points against Fulham. We were one of the top 6 teams to get 4 points against Crystal Palace. We were one of the top. Why is that not tough test for Man City? When Arsenal won, it was those weren't tough games. Man City drew. It was it was a blip. Yeah. So what it is, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like let's have a standard measurement unit. Instead of saying, we feel like those were easy games. Because it looked easy when we beat them, and then you had to play them. And then you couldn't beat them. Then you're going to say United is a tough test. Traditionally, it's a tough test, yes. But we're talking about a team that hasn't beat us in 4 years.
But can I just play devil's advocate? Sorry. For me, it's real talk. It was bringing Arsenal fans... Because Arsenal fans were getting sky high and were saying, guys, sharp, you've won, but look who you've won against.
Yeah, but
you would have the same conversation on the other side of the foot. You beat Fulham, now you're happy. You know what I mean? It's that kind of. I'm not taking away from it. From me, the way I read it was, hey, we're talking about another unbeaten season now. Relax, it's Fulham and Aston Villa.
There were guys. There were guys that getting carried away. I'm talking about pundits here saying,
oh sure,
these teams were not tough. Hey, your team didn't beat these teams. Sharp, you play in United. That game could have generally went either way if we put our chances either away.
What was that other commentator from FIFA that got banned for gender discrimination?
Oh, Richard Keys.
No, not the other guy.
Andy Gray.
Andy Gray. That's it.
He got banned from FIFA, okay.
Yeah, he was, I can't remember.
He said some sexual things in his
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember something like that, yeah. What did he say?
I can't no, basically it was just they were talking with that Richard Keys guy where we just beaten Aston Villa and we're celebrating. Then they were talking about these guys are so childish. No. It was actually Fulham when we beat Fulham.
Sure.
And they were saying that we were childish. How can we be celebrating so hard for Fulham and whatnot? Like, so it was very suggestive, as in like, dude, calm down. Like, and then I think Nigel de Jong was there and he's like, guys, these guys came from a season. The manager, he broke it down so nicely. He was like, dude, Arsenal came from a season where they lost their first 3 games against opponents they were supposed to win against. And then it went from that. Manager almost got fired. There was player disharmony. They got rid of the captain.
We lost the first 3 games
like,
last season. Like,
yes, he's like, bruh, even the Ramsdale described, he's like, guys, we don't know how long this is going to last. But for now, can we just enjoy? Can we be happy? Like,
dog, you know what's the funny thing, man? We're going to pretend like last season, United, after they played the first game of the season, or I forgot what season it was, we're the only team to play on the top of the league, and the United official Twitter page tweeted, don't say anything, but top of the league. No, when fans get excited for winning games, you're going to be like, nah, don't celebrate too much. It's only Fulham. Hey, dog, a win's a win. A win's a win when you come from behind. It's more like, you know, if you start the game when you knock a team 7-0, they're going to be like, man, they were celebrating too hard. Like, they scored 7 goals, toned down the celebrations.
I must say, I'm good.
Like, celebrate throughout the whole season.
The argument you brought up, you've been thinking about this for a very long time, I could see.
Dog, there was even the time Chelsea tweeted that thing of top of the league. We're in September.
No. I'm talking about the time when you broke it down. You're like, we're the first team to take points from Fulham. I'm like, what? Or only top 6 team.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They were so far. They kept on saying, nah, these are easy teams to beat. Then other teams went to go play them.
Those are those
and they didn't beat them.
Those are those stats where you find when the debate is getting heated. That's why I was like, okay.
Yeah. Somebody has challenged him. He kept that one in the tuck.
That's why I was laughing. I was like, yeah, I know, bro.
Fuck you! Where's that Kamehameha talk?
Bro, whoever pissed you off, bro. No, I don't know what you guys did, but hey, that's some great stats keeping. But yeah, I think we can move on to game week 6. I was just trying to paint a picture before we went into game week 6.
But I also think that that loss does Arsenal better for the season. We don't get too confident. We got brought back to reality.
I think we can discuss all of that. That sounds like an Arsenal podcast. Those are Arsenal podcast commentaries. We don't need to talk about our feelings after the game. You can talk about yours and.
I'm just saying in general, like to compete. Like if we win 6 games, I'll worry we'd lose against a stupid team and collapse.
Fair point. You know your team. You know your team. Obviously, going into it, I think in this game week, as well that we discussed in game week 5, Haaland went back-to-back hat-trick.
Hey.
That's when we started discussing the fact that this guy is not human. So
Android 17.
Yeah,
DBZ.
Going into game week 6.
That man is gonna find Sal, a Sal-like teammate, and he's gonna be Super Sal. And then we're gonna need somebody's father to die, come back from the grave, and get his son to save us from Haaland, dog.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to go for the Saturday game weeks because I want us to actually talk about Man United versus Arsenal. Those are the 2 teams we support.
We know that's what you're here for.
Yes. So Saturday of game week 6, Everton versus Liverpool went down 0-0 at Goodison Park. Then Brentford versus Leeds, that was 5-2. Chelsea versus West Ham, 2-1, controversials. Decisions there, which I think we can deal with at the end of this. Newcastle Crystal Palace 0-0. Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth 3-2 to Bournemouth after firing their coach Scotty Parker. That's another topic we forgot to talk about, but I think we don't care about Scotty Parker. That's fair.
Yeah.
Assume that
No, but they did him dirty, dog.
They did him dirty, yeah.
You lose against Liverpool and you get fired. Come on, dog.
No, to tell you the truth.
Let's see who Bournemouth played their first 5 games before he got fired. But continue talking.
I think we broke down that. I don't know if you did. Then 2-1. Spurs versus Fulham. Spurs took that 2-1. Wolves versus Southampton. Wolves took that 1-0. Aston Villa versus Man City. That was a draw. And that's when we thought,
Okay, so
The league
Scotty
was-
Parker got fired after the Liverpool game. Nah. Before that, his games that he played since the season started. Hold up. 6th August, beat Aston Villa 2-0. 13 August, loses 4-0 to Man City. Next game, Arsenal loses 3-0. Next game, EFL second round cup, wins on penalties 5-3 against Norwich City. You fire him for losing 9-0 against Liverpool. You played City, Arsenal, Liverpool back to back. You beat Aston Villa, who bought money on Coutinho and a bunch of other superstars, and you couldn't give that guy 3 more weeks.
That's crazy.
no, I think from what I remember is,
I don't care what he said post conference.
no, to tell you the truth, that's
That
what-
man saw he's gonna
it
be
looked
over
like-
to keep those results up.
it
He's
looked
gonna be
like-
overperforming all season.
it looks like that's what their main concern was, that this guy disrespected us, number one. And number two, he's going against the philosophies of the club. The philosophies
What's the philosophy? The guys who spent 30 million on Jordan Ibe
No,
spent 25 million on
Solanke.
Dominic Solanke.
that season they fired Eddie Howe.
Did Eddie
But
Howe
it's
get
not against
fired?
the. He didn't get fired.
He
He
got
went
sacked.
down.
Oh, shit.
He got sacked.
Yeah, but no, man. He didn't get fired. He went down with the club.
Did he?
Yes.
So you're telling me he got sacked down there?
No, he got sacked end of season.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They gave him a chance because, in all fairness, he had done so well for them. So they gave him the money and then it failed and they're like, okay, bruh.
No, but you can't tell me it goes against the philosophy of the club when you're spending money like that. Dog, I don't know what Dominic Solanke has done
was the-
besides be a decent player in the
But that was
championship.
the first season they decided to spend money and it didn't work for them.
No. He bought Jordan Ibe and Dominic in different seasons. Those guys were blowing money.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair point. We're not going to spend too much time with that.
But at least they didn't spend money on that other Liverpool.
So I think
Striker.
this was the week
Sheffield
where
United.
VAR
Brewster. Yeah.
VAR came into talk. From my memory, it was from the Chelsea game. I don't remember what happened. I think it was guys.
No, I can describe it to you. So the players threw on goal. I don't know if Mendy doesn't make the save.
No, it's not Chelsea. My bad. It's Aston Villa versus Man City. Aston Villa were one
Coutinho
one goal
offside.
up and the Coutinho offsides was called. So basically the linesman
It was
flagged for
1-1. It was
offsides,
1-1.
where he was basically supposed to leave the play to carry on until the end.
Oh,
So
sure.
he can put the flag up.
Yeah.
So it was 1-1 and that would have led Aston Villa to a winning position. So that was the first position, the first thing that happened.
Match fixing right there, dog.
Yeah. On the Sunday game as well, there was something that happened in the Leicester.
You know that one I can sort of give them slack for. All right. I'm not saying it's a good decision or whatever. I'm sort of giving them slack, right? Because it's one of those, the ball comes into the box and then goes back out and then Coutinho gets it. So that first phase of play they let happen. The second phase of play, as they're coming back, that's when the linesman is like, okay, flag up, and the,
okay,
and the
so
ref
you
things.
you
But-
arguing on the concept that it wasn't progressing, the ball wasn't going forward.
No. It's when the ball went forward, that's when the linesman sees Coutinho as being offside. Kanti is not, right? But the ball goes in, then comes out. Because remember, Coutinho scores it from the edge of the box or whatever. So I'm saying if he was offside, the linesman would have kept his flag down for too long. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I'll give them.
You know why I would give them slack?
Slack. Sorry.
You know I'll give them slack.
Why?
The proverb is, unless you're 100% sure, keep your flag down. That's what they literally say. Unless you're 100% sure it's an offside.
But
keep
he
the
probably was 100%, and that's
Okay,
what I'm
fine.
saying.
Then
He
I'm
did
not-
keep his flag down.
But if he wasn't 100% sure,
Then suffer
and then
consequences.
we saw that you just proved how terrible of a ref you are to me. Then you just proven how terrible. If you were 100% sure that was offside, you just proved how terrible of a ref you are to me. You shouldn't be anywhere near the top because that man was nowhere near offside.
Nah, it was tight, boy. It was
But
tight.
again, you have to
was
be
tight.
100% sure.
Eh?
There has to be clear daylight for you to be 100% sure. Don't tell me about tight decisions. I understand, But in the VAR era, they said you have to be 100% sure because we got VAR in the background.
But that's what I'm saying about the second phase of play. Because when the ball goes into the 6-yard box, he keeps his flag down. When it now goes out, to me, that's another phase of play.
Well,
you know what I mean?
But like, be 100% sure of the decision. Don't tell me about phases of play. It's either you're making the right decision or you're not.
All right. And then I just now remembered why there was controversy in the Chelsea game. It was last movement of play for West Ham?
Yeah, with the equalizer, basically.
Yeah, the equalizer with, it was Maxwell Cornet?
Yeah.
So basically, it was a goal, but VAR deemed that there was a foul on the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Jared Bowen was jumping over the goalkeeper and like his trailing leg clipped Eduardo Mendy.
So keeper sort of makes a save, pushes the ball out, and as Bowen is trying to jump over him, he leaves his trailing leg and then kicks Mendy in the arm.
Yeah.
Mendy goes down like he was fucking.
But even
the ball
dived into him to me.
The ball breaks out to the other player, puts it in. Yeah.
That one for me is a little bit more, it's not as clear. I think that...
It's very clear.
No. To tell you the truth, that one for me is a little bit more harsh.
Yeah, that's very harsh, yeah.
No, it's harsh. But then you go back to the Aston Villa game versus Arsenal, where Ramsdale was literally grabbed by a player. It was Kamara in the corner. The goal where the goal came from a corner kick. So basically Kamara grabbed Ramsdale like this and it was deemed as not a foul. But that one you could argue as well. Uncle Curtis, I was gonna say, can you chime in on that decision for me?
It was a terrible decision. It was so terrible that the Premier League asked the PGMOL to investigate those VAR decisions. We might get a match fixing scandal in England, dog.
I was gonna say
you get what I'm saying? Because they were even forgetting about the Newcastle. There was a terrible Newcastle decision with Willock trying to go for a header, and then the player who scored the own goal pushes Joe Willock into the keeper, and then the ball gets disallowed, even though he's the player who pushed Willock into the keeper, scored an own goal. The goal gets disallowed because Willock fouled the keeper. But if you roll it back 2 seconds, Willock only fouled the keeper because he was pushed into the keeper. Nah, terrible decisions. People are blaming VAR. Dog, you're only as good as your technology, dog.
No, I don't think it's VAR. I just think
you have terrible refs.
It's incompetence.
It's incompetence, and you're keeping them. Get rid of them.
Now they've just introduced a new method for Champions League. What's his name? Where they're going to use like some digital reflection to see if someone is offsides. I don't know how it works, but basically they do it like a 3D thing where
it'll work in the Champions League.
Lines.
It'll work in the Champions League. It will still be terrible in the Premier League.
That's what I was also gonna say. Forgive me, guys. I don't know the details. I'm not in Champions League anymore, so I don't have to worry about this.
Yeah, so it's they're gonna put more. There's essentially more cameras in the stadiums, and it's the cameras are basically tracking your limbs or tracking the players' limbs. So essentially, it's just more shots quicker to see if you're offside. Basically, so the camera's watching, is your elbow ahead of the defender, is your leg ahead of the defender, that kind of thing. So it's just more camera assistance for the offsides.
Now, obviously, that's not going to be implemented into Premier League. So for us as Premier League watchers,
it'll be in the World Cup. It'll be in the World Cup, yeah.
No, but all I'm saying is that in the Premier League, we're still going to have the same worries and the same, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that wraps up the Saturday fixtures. Any thoughts on the Saturday fixtures? I think the only thing I look at there is this must be the first Merseyside derby that's been a 0-0 for a while now. Actually,
yeah, I think so.
But it was still action packed.
Eh?
It was still action packed.
From Everton's point,
there was no Dico for Rigi to come finish it off the bench as usual. You know?
Yeah. Oh, okay. There was that. There was actually no. They have been getting a little bit more exciting. Okay, then we move on to Sunday's fixtures. First game that played is Brighton versus Leicester. That ended up being 5-2 in the scale of Leicester. But no, in the scale of Brighton.
They doing my boy dirty, dog. They doing my boy Rogers dirty, bro.
Who?
Leicester. You have one of the best managers in the league. You're gonna give him nothing
To tell you
and
the
just sell his assets, and then they're gonna fire him like he's the one that's doing.
did they haven't fired him yet?
No, but they will.
No.
But they will.
I think, well, he's going for the respectful approach because I think he expresses that, listen, we're going through tough times. I don't know what their tough times are.
They're just reverting back to factory default settings.
So you think the money is... But I don't get it, though. Then they...
Dog, you have to have a fan base. Like, that's the thing. Nah, it's a sad reality of the Premier League. Nah? Even Man City technically can't compete commercially wise without the Arab money to the traditional Premier League top teams. And I'm talking...
Okay, go on.
I'm talking Liverpool, Arsenal, United. Those clubs have an established fan base worldwide. Those guys will always have money, no matter how badly they perform.
But do you think it's a case of Leicester not having money?
I think they can't compete at that high level for that long, money-wise. I think they can't compete to always consistently get the best players.
Yeah.
No, in my head, I'm thinking...
Because think about it. Who has Leicester lost to top teams?
But if we look at it in Leicester's tier, right? Obviously, getting into that tier of the United and whatever, I hear you there. I'm with you. They're on the same level as West Ham.
I think West Ham has more money because they have a bigger fan base.
They have a bigger fan base.
West Ham has more money than Leicester.
Yes,
Leicester's owners rich.
Yes, I hear you, but I'm saying the owner doesn't feel like spending that much money anymore. You're not gonna get a Roman Abramovich. Look at the Inter Milan billionaire owner. He's like, screw you guys. You're not making me money. I'm not giving you more money.
Look, to me, I'd be very surprised if it's a case of pulling back. I just think you got one of the best managers around. He gave you a trophy. He gave you progression in the team, even while you were selling your stars. And then you come to the bros. Didn't they sign like one player or two players? I think they only caught up on transfer deadline day with like one player.
What did you want to add, Portion, before I add my final thing?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, do you guys not think maybe that they're building a stadium or doing stadium renovations?
No, their stadium's new-ish. It's in the last 10 years. King Power.
No, that's what I'm wondering. Like, that's the only thing that can make sense where someone, they don't want to spend money on the team. But let's not forget, I mean, last season they spent a lot of money. I mean, for the past 2 seasons, they've been spending a lot of money. The Wesley Fofana deal was a lot of money. I think Patson Daka as well was a big money deal. Who else? I don't know.
Was Patson over 30?
Yeah?
Was Patson over 30?
Most likely. I don't know. I'd have to see. Let me.
Yeah, but anyway, go on.
Yes. But yeah, I'm starting to think that it's one of those, as in like, especially considering that Leicester have failed to qualify for Champions League. The Champions League has been their aim for a very long time. And, the owner probably did just say, guys, we've been saying we're trying to make it into Champions League and we haven't made it. So let's just slow down a little bit. Maybe it is.
I think we're just assuming their money is low, but
I'm not
they
saying
won a trophy. They've been in European football. What I'm trying to get, why I'm giving the West Ham comparison is, if we're going to talk about their money is low, they've done things that get their money up and still didn't back it.
I hear you, but it's one of those things. It's fan bases. I'm saying West Ham can spend the way they spend because they're going to get consistent fan money. Now, Leicester don't have a Cantona in their history. Not Cantona, I mean Di Canio in their history. Leicester don't have some of these players that West Ham were able to pull based off the West Ham name. It's an unfortunate thing in football, but now we've seen it with Man City, the way they invested heavily and concentrated on getting the younger fan. It's a totally different thing now. We got that new signing who's like 16, 17, whatever. And I grew up watching Man City. Nobody says that about Leicester, so Man City might jump into that tier now where they got the new generation of fans. That was a very strategic thing that the Man City owners did.
18, 19, Premier League revenues. Leicester is, what is this? 7th, 8th, but they're above West Ham. 1920, they're above West Ham again.
Again, but because of prize money.
Okay.
I'm saying commercially themselves, they bring in more money.
This is revenues. This is not prize money. This is revenues.
Yeah,
this
the
is all in
revenue
all.
includes- Yes, it includes your prize money.
Yes, it includes, but the total, I'm ahead of you. How can you tell me you have more money if I'm making more money than you?
No, Lucas, again, I'm not saying you have more money. I'm saying I generate more money on average, even though I finish on lower positions than
But
you.
revenue says you don't.
Okay.
We'll talk about that offline.
No, I think let me kind of break down why I feel as though the spending got less. This is 18-19. Leicester came 9th. 18-19. Leicester came 9th. Never mind. Forgive me. I planned
But yeah, I think we should take a shot for digressing.
Yes.
But
no,
like,
hold on. 1920, Leicester came 5th. 2021, Leicester came 5th. 21-22, Leicester came 8th.
yeah,
So you see, I think the reason why is because there was Leicester were going up. They were doing quite well. They were 5th. They were trying to break that into the Champions League. And you break from Champions League, you go from Europa, you go back to Conference League now. So I think maybe that's why the owners have decided not to spend. If you were supposed to go on an upward trajectory and they've been spending so much money and then all of a sudden you drop down out of the competition where you guys weren't happy with, that probably brings doubt into the owners' minds. So I think that might be the result of what's going on now. So I think it's just one of those that,
Lucas, where did you get that thing from, dog?
literally Google. Okay. But are we?
Now we spend too much time on these guys.
No, this is an offline conversation.
Yes.
Sure.
Then let us wrap up with, I think we can give a good 10-15 minutes conversation to this. Let us wrap up with the game of the weekend, the Super Sunday game. That was Manchester United versus Arsenal at Old Trafford. And that ended up being 3-1 to Manchester United, with goals from Anthony and a brace from Rashford, and 1 goal from Saka to restore some pride in North London. I don't know where to start. I think that
Congratulations to Man United.
Congratulations to Manchester United.
I'm not going to complain. I'm not even going to complain about ref decisions this time because I'm just genuinely proud of my team. So congratulations to Man United. I feel that game could have gone either way if we also put our chances away. I won't talk about the 2 risks being for Manchester United. That's a conversation for another day. But I'm not too upset at some of the decisions that went against us. I'm more upset at the chances we fluffed. That's my takeaway from that game. Like, I'm not going to complain about the disallowed goal because generally it could have gone a 50-50. That one, whether it was given or not given. Toss of the coin. United on the counter attack look very dangerous. I can't take away from anything from Rashford's finishes. Only thing I'm disappointed is I don't know why Arsenal gave Rashford a career. That guy scored on his debut against us. He only scores against us again when they're on the revamp. No, we must stop giving that bum a career, dog. He must go back to feeding children. He's not that great of a footballer.
He hadn't scored against you guys since his debut. Actually.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? We're revitalizing his career. No, dog. Yeah. I don't know why we do that. Only thing that I can say I can complain about refs in that game that I can complain about. McTominay gets away with too many fouls, dog. That man is pushing players in general. And I'm tired of these English players getting this free lag. But again, I don't think Arsenal lost because of those things.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because I was about to fight you.
No, but what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about McTominay just this game alone. I'm talking in general. That man does things other players can't do, and he shouldn't be doing those things, dog. Like, they gave him a yellow when he decided to rugby tackle a player.
Body slam
a player. Before that, he pushed somebody off the pitch. Before that, he like, come on, dog. Like, let's get consistency in how you ref these games with certain players. You get what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. But now I can see the difference, dog. Maguire came on and I had hope. We were 3-1 down. I'm like, he's on. And we almost, if we got that foul for Nketiah, that penalty, I was begging for the draw. I was like, it's a draw. But yeah, either way, I'm not going to complain about the way we lost that game. It is what it is.
Your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, look. I thought it was a good game. I understand why both teams come out happy-ish. You know what I mean? I think from an Arsenal perspective, they played well. United, I think we played well. I think we deserved the win. I was quite happy in the performance. I think United won that game. For me, man of the match is Christian Eriksen. Just after him is Bruno. I don't think Arsenal could contain those two. I think the rest of the game was kind of even. I
wouldn't say even though. I wouldn't say even. Kind of even is a strong. You guys were on the counter.
Yeah, because we scored early.
Let him make his
but
point.
I don't think even.
Let him make his point.
Because we scored early. Okay, yeah. Just to continue my point, I think we won that game in central midfield. I think Christian Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes were, like I say, for me, man of the matches there. I think Arsenal were dangerous in pockets, but I think we stopped them well. I think when it comes to Arsenal, at least from what I've seen this season, what Arsenal does is they stop you from playing in the midfield, and we played through the midfield. The front three, they link up with each other. I think the front three individually had decent games, but not together. You know what I mean? I think we stopped them from linking up with each other. So I think I was quite happy. I was quite happy with the game. I think pressing wise, we defended well. I think our centre backs until Maguire. I was quite happy with the game. Yeah.
All right. I think let me break down the game from what I saw. To tell you the truth, I feel as though, as much as we worried from a ref's point of view that those two refs from the greater Manchester were going
One was from Salford, dog. Bloody Salford.
So that's
Isn't that where United's training ground is?
So that's why I'd look at that. Our worries that the refs were going to screw us. I don't think they did, to tell you the truth. Besides the occasional bias from English players, McTominay that you mentioned, but wouldn't you argue that that's bias for games in general?
No, that's
everyone
why I said
has that good boy tag on them.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I don't think that was the case. I just think that the refs did well. The VAR was a 50-50 call. We can't get upset when they call it.
The only thing I can say about that is...
Hold on. The only thing we can be upset about is because there was a similar call in the Leicester-Brighton game, where a similar thing happened. And that goal was, they let it stand by. So the only thing I can be upset about is consistency during the day. But I can understand why it was a foul. That's my first point. Number two, you saying that Eriksen and
Bruno,
that you guys own the midfield. I would argue that your counter-attack is what got us. I think, all of those goals were counter-attack goals.
Yeah, but if you look at the passes that spark those counterattacks, it's Bruno and...
No, don't get me wrong. Yeah. I understand. But the fact that I would argue that when we were in possession, there wasn't much that Bruno and Eriksen were doing to stop us. If things worked out for us, if, certain shots worked out, I mean, we had... How many? Let me look. We had 16 shots on target. 3 that were off target. Well, 16 shots... and 3 were on target. I would argue that your midfield wasn't really in control of things. Touches as well, I'd look at that. 630 touches versus 472. Passes as well. I think that...
they were more clinical.
Yes, I think our midfield was more clinical.
No, not more. They midfield...
Not more clinical. I think that our midfield played better. But where you guys were superior, where you guys owned us, was counter-attack. Hands down, you guys owned us on
final decision.
And I think we've had this conversation before where you said
we watched the game together.
No, in Alex Ferguson's book, where Alex Ferguson wrote and just said the way he beat Arsenal is literally just to counter-attack. I think because I thought about that actually.
Yeah.
I think there was too much pressure on us to win that game. For you guys, a draw was perfect. So I think your manager just went in and probably said, bruh, just counter. These guys want the win. They need the win more than us. If we can settle for a draw and this is a decent result, with them, it's more of, they have something to prove to themselves. So I think Arsenal kind of got into their own heads by trying to get... Because I wouldn't have minded a draw. If they played that safe game and, not overly committed, that would have been okay.
But it's if it ends in butt.
Can I just ask you a question on the midfield part? So I hear what you're saying now. But your midfield, you had 3 players there. Which player would you say stood out?
I'd say Lokonga actually stood out.
Really?
I can't think.
Don't get me wrong.
He had a lot of the ball. I don't think he did anything special with it.
Don't get me wrong. I think he the tempo of the game, he controlled the tempo of the game. I think once it was from the role that he was brought in to do, i.e. defend, that's where he kind of...
No, I can't even blame him for those things.
So
no.
I think
I can actually...
I blame him for a few.
What?
For at least the first one.
The first one, I blame Gabriel's lack of concentration. He didn't have to go to the ground.
He didn't have to go to the ground, but where does he go to the ground? In the defensive midfield position. Whose position is he making that tackle in?
I'd probably say Chaka.
It's on the right side of the pitch where Lokonga was.
No.
Because he goes across Saliba into midfield to make the tackle.
Left is, what's his name? It's Chaka.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you that probably Lokonga was at fault there because Chaka does push up front.
Yeah.
And hence why I'm saying you guys caught us on the counter. So I think that's the counter attack is where I have to give you guys credit. You guys caught us on counter many a times. Yeah. So for me, right, like completely being honest, I think United played well. I don't like that we gave up control of the game in some periods of the game, but I don't think you guys used the control of the game.
Yeah. As I was saying,
I don't remember De Gea making saves.
100%.
Again, he wasn't making saves because the shooting boots were terrible.
100%.
Was it good positions where they should have made De Gea save?
There was a time Odegaard had a clear shot on De Gea. It went to the corner flag.
100%. I genuinely do believe that we just
Like
got into our
16
own
shots, 3 on target. De Gea doesn't have to make saves because 13 are going off target.
Yeah.
If a couple of them are on target, it's maybe a different conversation.
Yeah.
And the 3 on target is the 1 goal.
Yeah. Look, so I hear you now, but let me say I look at it this way, right? Arsenal's 3 attacking players, right? Jesus had a good game, yeah? Not in front of goal. He had a good game under the high ball. He pinned Varane back. He outstraight. I don't remember him having a shot. I don't remember him playing somebody into a good position. Saka had a good game when he drifted into the pitch. Saka had a good game. I actually got nothing to say about Saka's game. Martinelli, first half.
Shooting. Saka's shooting is still a bit questionable. But we can argue. I think he was the one player that I think owned the role.
No, he played really well.
So I think they could have attacked that side. Malacia was struggling with Saka.
Yeah.
Malacia was struggling. Martinez was getting owned by Jesus. Jesus, I also didn't understand why
Varane.
he didn't.
Varane. Jesus was picking Varane more.
No,
under the high ball, actually. Sorry, let me not catch up. Yeah.
He did that backwards hug thing a lot to Martinez. But Varane, I think Varane under high ball kind of contained Jesus enough.
I just think it was bad linking play in the final third.
So to me, I don't blame the front 3 of Arsenal. I think they played well.
Yeah, they played well.
I think they played well. To me, it's Arsenal in the midfield had a lot of the ball, had control of the game, but I don't remember line breaking passes. Why I say Eriksen at number 6 position was playing Bruno in. That's the pass straight through the middle.
But you're remembering the 3 good passes that he made for the goals. I'm saying there were good passes. We got in front of goal. They shot wide. If one of those goes in, he's saying, they had good games.
The substitute as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like with Saka.
The substitution
threw us off.
It's like, I remember, I'll give you a perfect good ball. That was when Fabio Vieira came in. He played it to who? I think it was Jesus. And I think it was a last ditch tackle was it Maguire even? That got the ball out. I'm just saying, Yes, again, don't get me wrong. You guys deserve to win it because we didn't take our chances. That's what I'm saying. Again, it's 16 shots, 3 are on target. That's pitiful. We're looking at 69% possession, 31%. Because it's line breaking passes. I remember decent chances. I just don't remember. You guys did have bigger chances on the counter. But we had decent chances we should have put away. And we didn't put away. Now it looks like, because I was seeing certain things and people were like, Saka had a bad game. I'm like, dog, but what did Malaysia do, dog? Saka wanted to take him on the outside. Saka took him on the outside.
Did Saka beat him a lot on the outside? For me, Saka had a good game when he came inside. When he came away from Malaysia.
There was a time where...
I'm not saying Malaysia was... He definitely showed Malaysia, but...
There were 2-3 times where he decided not to cut in and he went towards the byline to try and cut it back. He beat him for pace. Malaysia just couldn't, and you get what I'm saying? Yeah, but because that final shot didn't result in a shot on goal, you don't remember Saka beating Malaysia for pace, crossing it back in, and stuff like that. The disallowed goal, Saka, that was a brilliant pass
that was.
to Martinelli. Martinelli did what he was supposed to do. Put it on target, under pressure. What else was there? That was another week. It was decent all round. It's just, dog, it could have went in. I'm not even upset we lost.
Yeah.
For the very first time, I'm not upset we lost.
Nigga, stop lying.
I'm not.
No, because the performance was good. It's not that performance where you're angry at your team.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not upset. It hurts that we lost, but I'm not on that team up. Like, the ref did me dirty. It's just we had a bad day at the office.
Yeah.
From what I've seen this season, what I've loved about Arsenal is we went 1-0 down. 8 minutes later, we scored back. In general, not this game, but in general, whenever we went 1-0 down, it took us 8 minutes.
But that's Arsenal DNA.
Not in the past 3-4 years.
No, I remember that. That's why I say DNA. I remember it from Wenger days, where we'd start off slow and then 1-0, and then Wenger comes back. It's like they kind of wake up and say,
but I'm talking about what the player said. Gabriel in the game against Aston Villa.
Oh yeah.
He's like, when we went 1-0 down, I lost my head. I just kept on making mistakes. That's not happening anymore. The game before that, own goal, Saliba. Niggas went back up the pitch and scored another one. The game before that, another player made a mistake. They didn't concede another goal off those nicks. 2 years ago it would have been 2-3, and I'm like, Jesus.
Let me just ask you the question. So we're almost watching the game together, right? And you were just about to bring it up. How do you guys feel about the substitutions? Because I just remember in that moment when I saw the substitutions, we kind of looked at each other.
Yeah, no, those were.
I think I smiled. Was I smiling or was I just shocked? I was like, huh?
It was one of those.
Was it 1-1 or 2-1? It was 2-1 already, yeah? Okay.
Those were literally desperation. Like, it was like, bruh, do something.
But it was 75 minutes, nah?
Yeah.
It wasn't the last thing.
What I'm saying. I'm not even upset at the substitutions about that.
No,
I know, at least now I know we have backup.
No, to tell you,
I saw decent cameos from the players that came on.
No, I'll look at the substitutions from this point. Zinchenko came off. It was Zinchenko, Odegaard, and Lokonga that came off.
I remember saying Chaka's gonna play this whole. I thought Chaka was nowhere in that game.
So you see, my problem, the Zinchenko one, we forget. Zinchenko just came back from an injury. He wasn't supposed to play this long. Martin Odegaard had a knock during the week. He wasn't supposed to play for this long. Lokonga one, I didn't understand. I genuinely do believe he should have stayed on. Then they brought on Smith Rowe, Tomiyasu, Smith Rowe, Edin Ketia, and who else?
Fabio
Vieira. I feel as though this is why
because I don't know who went to left back after
Martinelli.
Okay.
Oh yes,
that makes more sense.
Again, now you see why I'm not upset at those substitutions. It didn't work out, but now I see where our plan B is. But that's basically 4-4-2. We know we have control of the ball. Unfortunately, we got caught on the counter again straight away after those substitutions. So that's an unlucky thing. But the way those substitutes are set up, it was a player that played an incisive pass that almost led to an equalizer. We had the Nketiah pass from, I think, another player, Oenino Maguire, that could have had a decent chance over there. So when I look at the substitutes, I see where he's going with it. It's unfortunate. It's with a player who came back from injury.
but I also look at your coach. I look at atThe and think to myself, a guy like Smith Rowe who's been on the bench for most of this time, we've had games where we've been in the lead decisively, where Smith Rowe could have come on and had a decent cameo. This wasn't the time to now decide to play him for however long it was.
Yeah, I guess
15 minutes. I mean, there were games where we.
But that's the past. What happened. We're on high. What I'm saying is, I see what he was trying to do with those substitutions. This time it didn't work out. It could work out in another game.
Because look, Arteta's comments after the game was, he said the difference is, I think like you're saying, he said the difference was in both boxes. They took their chances, we didn't. I strongly disagree. I think Arsenal had the ball, yes, but they had the ball in safe areas. I think Lukonga had the ball. Lukonga, I remember him on the ball in Arsenal's half or in and around the centre circle. I don't remember line breaking passes.
No.
Chaka, I don't remember Chaka doing anything in that game.
Okay, but
Odegaard, I don't.
Watch the highlights again.
Watch
the highlights again. I can show you there were fluffed shots. I mean, fluffed in front of the keeper. Where if it's on target, De Gea is beaten.
Yeah,
I promise you. The Odegaard shot. Do you remember the Odegaard chance in the second half? Odegaard, he literally passed it to the corner flag.
Oh yeah. That one I remember.
You forget about those things.
That one I remember.
You forget about those things when it's terrible shots.
Yeah, but hear me out. What I'm saying from a control point of view, it's not like you're stopping the opposition from having chances. United was having chances too.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
To me, it was one of those games of you had one. If we were on our game, we'd beaten you 4-3.
But then that what if is it's 50-50 then.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I can't call that control, is what I'm saying. If it could have been you, it could have been us.
But with the same, United didn't control the game.
Hey? No, definitely. I'm definitely
so
not saying
it was a game of chances.
Yeah.
One team took their chances, another team didn't.
Yeah. Look, I hear you, but that's why I said I don't think either team can be upset about this game per se.
Yeah. But I'm done talking football, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think
I can't talk about Arsenal this much, though.
No, to tell you the truth, I think we can look at both teams. This is a defining moment for them. For Man United, we look at it as a moment where this is kind of the step up